All right, now let's draw some really cool, interesting, kind of blobby mountains. Kind of blobby mountains with blended shade. Like I'm going to put lumpy. I'm going to put one lumpy mountain here. Just a really lumpy mountain. Kind of crazy. And what this was inspired, not only is this like a pile of ice cream, but when I was in Australia teaching, I saw when I was driving in the outback all these thousands of these lumpy towers that are 15 feet high, and they were all mud towers like this. And they were made by these termites. Remember we did that termite lesson? Well, they were made by microscopic termites, billions of them, and they were just these really lumpy, giant towers. These jumpy. Also, there's a park in New Mexico, in Albuquerque, called Tent Rocks, where these lumpy sand formed, sand-shaped, wind and sand shaped these mountains, and they're called tent rocks. And there's a rock at the top up here. You should look at that. Tent rocks. You should, if you're ever in New Mexico or on with your parents on the internet, search for that word tent rocks. You can get a lot of ideas for practice for nature. All right, so here's 3 lumpy rocks. I used overlapping. This big lumpy towers in front. They're just jagged, lumpy in the background. There's just 3. I may put another one, smaller one here. Just it's all lumpy and kind of just weird shaped. Okay, it could be an alien surface. You want to see some great alien surfaces. Look at Bill Watterson's Calvin and Hobbes books. They're just fantastic for these kind of weird mountains and canyons and cliffs. All right, so I'm going to first of all put a dark shadow. Now we're going to blend this. Now there's different ways you can shade this. One of them, here, look at this way that this student shaded with all the same kind of a value. Use the stomp to smooth it out, but this is the sharp edge shading. But look at what we're going to do today is we'll use this lumpy shadow. See back here? See these lumpy mountains? This is by K drew these. And look at the edge. This is one of our lessons coming up. We're going to draw this canyon edge here in a future lesson. But look at the tail sticking on that fun. But right now we're going to concentrate on blending these lumpy mountains like this. We're going to put little nooks and crannies and curves in it, okay? So let's go ahead and put that separation shadow. Let's make it really dark. Take your pencil, darken in there, and then we'll blend it in just a second, okay? And then I'll take it, get it really dark, separate those mountains from each other. Put the nook and cranny shadow first, and then I want to put like a lump there. I'm going to put a little shadow under this lump. See, I'm going to kind of break it into spheres, like kind of half spheres. Look at here's like a sphere here that'll shade underneath, coming around here to this side. And I'm going to generally, of course, the whole side is going to be shaded. The whole side of this mountain will be shaded. I'm going to scribble the shading. We're going to use scribble technique first. Okay, another artist you got to look at for scribble techniques. Shel Silverstein, where the sidewalk ends. Shel Silverstein, where the giving tree, and any look at his website, Shel Silverstein's website. Incredible scribble drawings with pen and ink. But look, I'm just scribbling. I'm going to mold the shape. I'm scribbling the shadow. Light's coming from this side. Do the same thing over here. We're going to kind of put some nooks and crannies, kind of shade. See this? Oh, look at here's a big spot you can shade. I'm going to pretend this is one big lump, and I'm shading the lights up here, hits on top. So I'll shade down here. Just scribble it and just have fun. This is a great one. So look at Shel Silverstein, his books. Oh, Bill Watterson, Calvin and Hobbes, greatest canyon mountain artist. Boy, he's draws great mountains. Look for the one where Spaceman Spiff, his aliens has these kind of mountains. The sun's coming from up here. Keep an eye where the sun is. Always going back to where the sun is, and shading under the shape. See, shade under here. Isn't that cool? Look at layers. Looks like layers of ice cream, doesn't it? Okay, it's shaded down here. And shading, look at the lights up here, so I'll shade down here. Just scribbling. Oh, this is fun. Scribble shading. Scribble. Now you could stop it like this. You could leave it scribbled if you want. There's some great drawings. You can look at the sketchbooks by Michelangelo. Look at the sketchbooks by Rembrandt. Rembrandt has some great. You go online with your parents. Search for sketchbooks by Rembrandt or sketchbooks by Michelangelo. Sketchbooks by Da Vinci. You'll see their wonderful scribble drawing, fast shading. Keep the light where the light is. Isn't that fun? Now we're going to blend it. So if we stop right here, this would be titled Mountains with Scribble Shading. That's wonderful. You can do great drawings with scribble. But now I'm going to take my stump, keep an eye there where the light is, and I'm going to kind of smooth it out now. I'm going to kind of blend it. I'm going to clean it up a little bit and just kind of smooth Just draw underneath, kind of smooth and shade, and kind of work the shadow in here, in between, and kind of blend it. Look, I get real quiet. I like painting. I'm flowing, painting with my paper stomp. Kind of smooth out. See the softening up all the hard lines of the scribbling. Just soften it up, and kind of blending it. Isn't that neat? If you look at a Da Vinci painting, there's really no hard edges in the Da Vinci painting. It's all soft edge blended with his paintbrush and his colors. Well, we're doing that with our paper stomp, and you can use your finger. You just use your finger to blend it just like that too. Remember, if you want to get a paper stomp, you can get it at any art supply store. You get a packet of them for $2. They're called paper stomps or blending tortillas. You can go online, get 100 of them for 15 cents a piece if you want. I go online and get them from different art supply companies. Look at this, isn't that fun? How it's kind of bulging out here, adding this shading. It's a wonderful shading exercise. Just draw thousands of these things. Look at this. In fact, you know what I'd like you to do is taking a roll of calculator paper. What I'd like you to do is take a long strip and draw like hundreds of mountains on this, okay? Draw hundreds and hundreds of mountains. Draw hundreds of mountains. Just keep drawing, overlapping, okay? And then, here, I'll do a little part of it. Look at this. I'll just put one in front right here. Show you what I'm talking about. Tape one in there. I'll tape one in here. It'll be just great practice for you, all right? Look at this. Just take it and draw a little mountain, one in front, and then one small one, and a tall one, okay? And then maybe back behind here, okay? Can you just draw a whole bunch of these, and then some lumpy and some shading, and then, look at, you can draw sharp edge shading if you want, sharp edge shading like we practice and blend it, or you can put scribble shading, okay? Or you could put the kind of blended lumpy shading, okay? But just do a whole row and then clean it up, make it look really nice, hang it up in your room. I think I'm going nuts on this, but you get the idea. Do 1,000 of these in a row and then take your time, make it look really cool, all right? Well, excellent job, way to go. Let me center this so we have a nice end picture to show you. Let's take a look at that on the television monitor. Boy, that looks really, really nice. Way to go. I'll see you on the next lesson. Yeah.